Hey shoulder people, I have not forgotten about you. So here's a routine that you can do for your shoulders if you have any issues going on with your shoulders. And it's a very general routine. It's not specific for any one shoulder issue. So try them out, see how they work for you. If it doesn't feel good in your body, of course, don't do it. So the first one we're going to be doing is a chest roll. So I just want to show you close up. We're going to be placing this block in this direction against a wall. And then we'll be using the ball on the block. Now the ball is actually going to be right in my upper pectoral area, maybe even coming close to my collarbone. So you'll just figure out where it makes sense for you. So once I get myself situated against the wall, I'm going to be doing my right side. So my left foot is forward. I hold the block with my left hand. So I'll place the block against the wall, ball against the block, and then I start to move my arm through a range of motion like a snow angel. So maybe 10 or so times. I might even take my hand behind my back a few times. Again, if that feels good in your body. And then once you've done several of those, you'll start to move the ball side to side across the upper pectoral area. So you're going to be doing both sides. Please do both sides of everything, even though I'm only demonstrating one. It's really important to keep yourself even. So if you have an injury on one side, it's very likely that you could injure that second side. So please always do the stretches and the strength exercises on both sides. So the next thing I'm going to show you is going to be two stretches for the shoulder. So the first one is finding yourself, and the chest, finding yourself against that pillar or that wall. You'll lean forward, so I'm leaning a little in, and then a little bit away from the wall. What you want to avoid is a hyperextension through the thoracic spine, so I'm not jutting my ribs. Draw the ribs back. The stretch should be through the chest and shoulder versus through the rib cage. So again, you'll hold that at least 30 seconds. If you can hold it longer, that's better. More likely you'll have a longer lasting effect if you can hold it longer, maybe even a minute or so. So the next one is a chest and shoulder stretch for while you're moving through a range of motion. Again, it's for the shoulders, for the chest. Now, same thing here. You want to be careful you don't jut your rib cage forward to do the movement. And know that you will have a different range of motion depending on your mobility. So listen to your body. You might need wider. You might want to hold narrower. So you do what works for you. You might even pause. I feel a stretch here across my chest and shoulder again, and then move. So this is a dynamic chest and shoulder stretch versus an isometric, which we just did over there. So the next one is a band internal and external rotation. So you'll be using a band here, and I'm putting a towel under my elbow. That's mostly to remind me to not let my elbow come off my side. So grounding down, my knees are bent, my core is tight. The only thing moving is my arm through this external range of motion. And it's slow on the return, so really important. The eccentric is slow. Okay, so I'll do as many as I can, and then I'll turn around, same arm working, but in an internal rotation. Typically, you can do a little more resistance on internal, so you might step out a bit. And the return, the eccentric, is very slow. So you don't want to slingshot it back. And again, you'll do as many as it makes sense for you to do. Do make sure you're doing both sides. You can always pause the video, do the other side, and then start it again. So the next one we'll be doing is a exercise that is done potentially on a ball if you have a ball. If you don't, you can lay down on an elevated surface, on a bench. These can also be done on the floor. You'll just have a little shorter range of motion. So the first one is T. So I'm drawing the letter T with my arms. This is what it would look like with weights. If you don't have weights, you'll be surprised. Even doing it without weights, you'll feel it. I also feel muscles in my back working. That is fine. If it gets to be too tired and straining in your back at all, just rest. Start again when you can. The The next one is the letter Y. So I'll be drawing a Y. That's the top part of the Y is my arms, and then my body is the rest of the Y. And again, without weight, it would look like this. Now you'll be surprised. You won't be using a lot of weight on this one. This is 6 pounds and it's hard. Now the next one is the letter W, and I'm not even going to use weight because 6 pounds is actually too much for me. So you can try this without weight. You might add 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 pounds. I mean, some may be able to do more than that. I'm drawing the letter W, so if you included my head in the exercise, my arms and my head make the letter W. All right, so moving on. So scapular squeeze. So this will also be with dumbbells, or if you don't have dumbbells, it works just fine without. So I'm starting with my dumbbells in front of me, or just my hands in front of me, externally rotating, internally rotating, and every time I externally rotate, I'm really squeezing my shoulder blades, and then I'm coming forward, and then I'm really squeezing my shoulder blades, and then I'm coming forward, and I'm squeezing, and I'm coming forward. All right, you will do those for as many as make sense for you. And then the last one I have for you is coming back down to the mat, and we'll be doing a lat release with a foam roller. So a basic lat release would look like this. So my lats are my latissimus dorsi. They run all along the side here, very interconnected into your shoulder mobility. So if your lats are locked up, they're stuck, you will have limited range of motion in your shoulders. It can also cause pain. Okay, so I'm working my lats here. So this is a basic lat roll. One of my favorites is this next one. So hands behind your head. You'll roll forward, and then you'll roll open. And then roll forward, and then roll open. I'm going to start also extending my top arm out so I get another chest and shoulder stretch. And then I roll forward, and then I roll open. So the other really amazing thing that's happening when you're doing this one is your middle back. Your thoracic spine is getting some stretch and rotation. So this area can be very locked up for many of us. Any of us who sit at a desk a lot, drive a lot, can absolutely find this area get really, really stuck. And when it's tight, it too can affect your shoulder mobility. So that's what I have for you today. Enjoy. Let me know how it goes.